Hey guys. All right, this week we are talking about technology part 2. So this is a little bit more of the individual look at how you use technology and how technology affects you. So I kind of started us on that path last week by talking about the catalog systems. Oh man, they are so bad. I just I don't like it. Cataloging does not actually have to be that hard. This is not like a big deal, honestly. In the vast majority, in a few libraries, of course, it would be extremely important. In the vast majority of libraries, just throw stuff out on the shelf. It's not like it matters. Anyway, moving past that, let's talk about some technology though, which, and by throw stuff out on the shelf, I mean throw an RFID chip into it and we can just scan it and just know where that book is. That would be fantastic. I don't think we're actually very far from that, and that's going to get rid of just a lot of this foolishness with the catalog silliness. Great. Free us from the tyranny of the really bad systems. What else could we be doing better in libraries? I will tell you, go browse some library websites. Oh man, will that be a sad experience? There are some libraries that have good websites. I mean, it seems improbable that no one would, right? A lot of libraries, they have no budget for this. And so either they hire just some bozo off the street who says, oh yeah, I can build a website, or they get WordPress and they try to cobble something together themselves. That's me. That's what I did. That's not actually terrible. It's not a terrible idea, but in WordPress, Squarespace, I mean, they're not terrible, but it's not great often. So when you see libraries, you want to be thinking, how accessible is their website? So whatever you need, a good rule of thumb in website design is you should be no more than 3 clicks away from whatever you need. So are you 3 clicks away from whatever you need? That's a starting place. In some of my other classes, we look at the idea that libraries should have their policies. So we look at different library policies, and it is a red flag if libraries don't have their policies on the website. Not just a red flag for they're trying to hide things, which maybe some libraries are bad, but it may be a red flag that nobody knows what they're doing and it's kind of a mess. And if you can avoid those kinds of places, you want to. So also look at websites, because are they accessible in terms of people with different kinds of disabilities? If I'm having problems seeing, but I have very cool software that will read to me on the website, and I can get everything I need with my cool software, provided the website is set up correctly. So hover over the images on a website. Does it say image? Wrong. Instead, when you hover over an image, you should get a little box that says what that is an image of. When you put in links to things, you put in hyperlinks to your text, you don't just select just the one little piece of text that says, for the entire annotated American tax code, click here. That hyperlink should not just be on the word here, because the software for people with visual disabilities will only read what the hyperlink text is. And here or article, it's not descriptive. That's not helpful. There's some tools that float around the web, and I will say I have found they kind of come and go. The University of Illinois used to have one called Danny, DANNY, and feel like I've seen that go up and down a few times, but there are other probably better tools also. So whenever you are seeing this in whatever month of whatever year, because it changes really that often, Google around and see what you can find to run an accessibility tool on your library's website, and it'll give you some hints for things that you didn't think of. What colors are you using? People with different kinds of brain imbalances are going to have trouble seeing yellow, or they may not be able to see things on a blue background. These are apparently pretty common, but if you don't know that, then you don't know that. Think things like font. So, you shouldn't have more than like 3 colors. You shouldn't have more than 2 fonts. You need to have a sans serif font without the little decorations on the letters. That's easier to read online. The fonts with serifs with the little decorations, like on the end of your S has a little whoop on it. There's a real word. I don't know what it is. But that serif type is easier to read if it's printed. So if it's something that you are providing on your website that you want people to print out, make it a serif font. But if it's on your website, then make it the sans serif, make it easier to read. There's a lot of little stuff. There's a lot of things that you can do in your library to make information more accessible, to make it easier to find. One thing that I definitely learned when I rebuilt my organization's website, I totally took the website down for several days. Our email was broken, our website was broken. Fortunately, it was over Christmas, so not a lot of people were trying to get a hold of us. Phew. I was also trying to put in everything and have everything available everywhere, all the information. What a mistake. That's not necessary. So just try to put in enough, but not too much. There's a rule that they used to talk about in English classes that papers and websites should be like mini skirts, short enough to be interesting and cute, but long enough to cover everything that needs to be covered. Think about this as you are developing your website, though. You want it to be cute. You want people to look at your website. You want people to look at your technology. You want it to be like eye-catching and interesting, and to have lots of good information, but maybe not to have so much that you've just overwhelmed us. And like I said, as a veteran of making all these mistakes, try not to do that. Try to make your stuff good. So think about the usability. All right, there's going to be a lot more usability talk, so I'm just going to go ahead and just shut up now and let you get to everything that's down below here. Okay, so scan through all of that material and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.